So, I'm at Canadian Tire in Tsawwassen on the mainland here. I had to come to the mainland for a couple of different reasons. I had thought about renting a car because I'm still having some issues with the motorhome. Engine's not running properly. Basically what it's doing is it drives fine until I'm like going uphill, and then it's like it can't get fuel. So what I'm going to do first right now is I'm gonna take out the fuel filter that is going into the carburetor. So that's where I'm gonna start. I don't actually have wrenches, and I decided this was a good time to buy myself a wrench set. Based on how things have been going with repairs and stuff on this engine, I'm thinking it's probably a really good idea that I have a wrench set. So I ran into Canadian Tire and I bought one. Now I could have done this with like vice grips or whatever, because it's only two little things that I've got to loosen off to take this off, but these were on sale for $35, so I was like, well worth 35 bucks for sure. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I am gonna kind of show you, just in case anybody else has one of these older van fronts where you gotta access the engine from the inside. I'm just gonna kind of show you where I had to undo bolts, etc., to get that cover off, because it took me a little bit of research to figure that out. So I'm just gonna turn the camera around here. Okay, so there are, now, I don't know if you can see in there, there's that little hole there, and another one there. Okay, so there's two screws that are there. And then you have these latches that you can see back there, right there, that latches onto that. Now, there's also, which took me a little while to find them, a bolt on each side. There's a little foot on the bottom, kind of hidden under your rug and under your mats. There's these little feet that have to be unbolted as well. So that's just so that you know how to get that off. You just undo all those, and then it basically just lifts off, essentially. It's a little bit of maneuvering to try and lift it up and out and over all the seats. I'm not taking my seats out. In the YouTube video I watched, they took the seats out. That's not happening. Anyways, I've got that undone, and I'm gonna take that off. I'm gonna take that fuel filter and replace that, and I'll just show you a little clip of where I do that. And then I'm actually just gonna link the video that I used that basically showed me how to do it. Like, it looks super simple. I read in my Hayes manual how to do it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so I have figured out, sorry, my hair's a mess because I've just had it shoved under the engine. I figured out where the gas line is that I need to change the filter in. Now, if this engine was in your typical Chevy truck or like normal van with like, you know, bigger hood and whatnot, this would not be so difficult. But I'm gonna give you a little peek at like where I'm going to have to squeeze myself into to undo these. But once they're off, it's easy to replace it. But here, I'll let you take a look. Okay, so I've got this components off. So that's the air filter and the air filter holder there. So those are off. This is the carburetor's fully open right now, so I gotta be really careful at this point to like not drop anything in there. And then you can see I have a rag here that is to soak up any fuel that leaks out. Now, if you look there, you see that line, that metal gas line? So that needs to be disconnected from this one here. Okay, so I gotta disconnect it here. Then after I disconnect that, I disconnect the second one. Now the second one has a spring-loaded filter, and you can even see right there, it says filter. Okay, So that second one actually has a spring-loaded filter in it, and so it goes spring, filter, washer. So you have to be really, really careful that when you get that last turn, it's going to try and pop it out, and you want to just be careful, because otherwise you lose that washer, you're just going to leak your gasoline all the time, okay? So you got to take it out very carefully, which is going to be a challenge, because this is the small space that I got to stick my head and stuff in. This is where I have to work. Can you see that? Like, come on, were people tinier in the 1980s or what? I'm only 5'3", like this is ridiculous. But anyways, I'm going to do that. So yeah, that's one thing you want to remember. Just be really careful when you take that second part off, because that's going to pop out from that spring. And this guy explains all that in the video. And then the other thing is, when you're putting it back on, you want to be really, really careful that you do not strip those threads. So like they could strip really, really easy. So you got to be really careful of that. Once I get it all on, then basically I start it up, take a look at the line, make sure there's no gas leaking out of it, because if there's gas leaking out of it, I either didn't tighten something right, I didn't get the washer in right, etc. And then you got to make sure you put the filter in the right way. Because it can't go in either way. There's one way to put it where it's like the fuel's going to actually push through the filter as it goes in, and it's not gonna, like if you put it the wrong way, the fuel's not going to be able to go in. If you put it the right way, the fuel goes in, it goes into the filter, and then out of the actual filter paper. So yeah, I think I'm going to strip off my sweater though. I've already hung my right here. It's actually really warm on the mainland right now, and my RV has no heat on, and I'm sitting here sweating and getting really hot. So I might lose the sweater. I don't know, because I don't really want to get my arms and stuff all dirty. So I might just suck it up and make sure I hit the gym as soon as I get back to the island today. So anyway. Okay, so after a fair bit of work, I did manage to get that fuel line off and the fuel filter out. I'll show you a little clip of what that looks like taken apart. However, the person who probably changed the fuel filter last time did sort of strip the one bolt. So it did require me to use vice grips. The other one required a 1-inch wrench, which did not come in my set. I do not have one, and Canadian Tire was all sold out of them. So I ended up using one of these. That costed me $16 just to buy that. And the 1-inch would have actually costed me like 20 something. So actually I saved money buying that little thing, and it's sort of a multi-tool that I can use in other ways. So, you know, in that sense, that's a win-win. I'll just give you a little peek here. Okay, so you can see the top fuel filter is the old one, pretty dirty. That's the new one that's going in. I always like to lay my parts out exactly as I took them out, so I put them back exactly the same way. So you can see I took it out with the rubber fitting. This rubber fitting is facing the fuel line that's coming in through here. It's going to come through the filter and out the filter and into the carburetor. Okay, so this spring goes in with that one, just to keep it from, like keep it tight kind of thing. Yeah, so that's that. Now, I don't know if you can really see and hear all that well. Okay, so you can see right there, that part there, that's actually where I took this piece out of. Okay, so this piece, this filter and springs are going to go back inside. So I'll go back here. It goes spring in, filter in, they screw that piece on, and then this here is the fuel line that's going to go on to the other side of it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put that back together, and yeah, we will find out if that solves the problem. Once I fix that, I'm gonna attempt to drive to Abbotsford, so that'll be a good test to find out if it fixed it. Alright, so got a new air filter in. I got that guy where it's supposed to go. Got the carburetor all set up. And we got all of our lines hooked back up. Okay, so I'm on the ferry, and we were told to make our way back to our vehicles, and it's clearly got to be wavy out there right now because we are all like swaying around in here. I've never actually like been in the berth where, well, actually once it was really rough waters, and I had happened to lay down in the back of the van, and it put me right to sleep. I fell asleep, and they were like, everybody else had left the ferry. They were banging on the window of my van trying to wake me up because I passed out from the boat ride. So I'm glad that I was up there and not down here during this rough ride. Although right now, I don't know. This is so like, I don't know if you can really tell on here, but like, I guess you can't really tell. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these huge fucking trucks. These huge trucks, pardon my language, sorry about that. And I'm like, oh my god, what if one of them starts rolling backwards and I'm sitting here in the driver's seat? It's gonna push me into the ocean. I don't know. I'm having a panic attack probably about something that I really don't need to have a panic attack about. But I don't think that happens very often. It doesn't make it to the news if it does. I mean, somebody did recently drive off the ferry. I don't actually know how they did that, but the ferry had actually reached land, and I don't know if this person wasn't supposed to go yet, and they just decided that they're like, I'm going, whether you want me to or not. But yeah, they drove. It wasn't connected yet, and they drove right off onto concrete. Hey everyone, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of the renovation so far. As you can see, it's very clean and white in here. So I'm just going to turn the camera around and kind of show you what we've done, what we still have left to do. And hopefully we're going to have most of the major work done today. And then it's just going to be small detail work after that. So let's take a look. So over on this side, I'm going to just give you a view from here. So you can see all of these cabinets have been painted. I still need to get something to cover up. I'm going to put things in between them. I haven't decided what yet. So this is the hardware that I've switched my cabinets over to, the little crystal knobs. This is the tile backsplash that I have chosen for that. The counter is going to just end up being just a plain white counter, and then the kitchen table will be that way. As you can see, it's still kind of a mess in here. I got a lot of stuff to put away yet. So all of these cabinets over on this side, also the same color is over there. And then this is also the same color. So again, I have the little crystal knob on there. But I actually think I want to get one of those long handles to put on here. I just haven't really selected one yet. So I have the knob on there for now. And then over here in the front area, we've got it primed up. We're going to be painting it. It's going to be the same color as these walls as well, just to keep it nice and bright and fresh in here. But over here between the window and this cabinet, and over here between the window and here, I'm actually going to be installing 3-drawer cabinets, and so that's just going to be some extra storage, probably for things like linens, etc. And then everything behind those cabinets, so from here all the way across, is going to end up being kind of like a little nook for me to read in. So I'm going to get some like really funky pillows to put up there, but it's looking very, very bright and fresh in here. We do have one of the roller blinds on. We don't have the curtains on yet. I'm just waiting to get everything organized and cleaned, and then I'll hang my actual curtains. Yeah, so the next thing that we have to do is finish painting up here, and then we're installing wallpaper on this wall. And then when you come back this way, we're putting in the wallpaper on this wall here. Same one, so when you're standing this way, you're going to see it here and here. And then back there is going to be basically my bedroom, my bed area. So that's kind of where we're at so far. I have been doing it a little bit at a time. Brandon from Rolling Through Reality has been helping me, of course, quite a bit with the renovation. So we did end up getting a campground so that we could have power and just have all the lights on and work. You know, it's been getting dark at, I don't know, like 4:35 o'clock. So our days are really, really short. So we were like, we need light. So we did get a campground. Me, Brandon, and Patrick are all at the campground. So yeah, I'll do a final video once I have everything done. I'll do a tour video just like I've done with my other vehicles that I've done renovations on, and share kind of what my inspiration was. I love renovating and doing like home decor, home design, so this has been pretty fun for me, picking out different patterns and colors, and I'm doing a totally different scheme than I did in the last one, which was a totally different scheme than I did in the one before that, and that's just, I have fun doing it. I have fun picking out stuff. So yeah, I will keep taking you along with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and see how it all turns out. And then I will probably start doing some cooking videos now that I have a kitchen to do that in. And I don't know, all kinds of other stuff as I travel around and find really cool things to check.